down $8.
I mean, it's Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points?
I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line
on the
against
house.
Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Hey, happy Thursday. Good bucket there, Steph. I'm sweating out a Warriors bet right now. Happy Thursday morning. By the time most of you are watching this, it will be Thursday morning. Hope you all had a nice Wednesday night. I did. Currently 4-1 on my bets tonight. Warriors would be 4-2 because it's looking bad here. I mean, it's not dead. I have -4.5. They're down 3 with 1:40 left. It's not completely dead, but looking like it's going to be a 4-2 night for me. You'll love to see it. Toast picked up a unit tonight. Things are looking up. Trev even had a green night. He said barely green, but green is green.
8 smackaroos, baby.
$8.
Hey, I did live bet New Mexico -2 and -3, so hopefully a little more too, but we'll take it.
So obviously it's Thursday, not the most loaded college basketball day. I got some games queued up here. First one, Charleston, UNC Wilmington, a real banger of a game. Charleston catching 6.5, it looks like. What are your guys' thoughts on this? I can't really contribute much to these.
Yeah, I get it. Trev, you can probably go first because I don't really love laying a whole bunch of points, but especially after a double overtime game. But I do think that UNC Wilmington is the play. I think that Charleston's been kind of skating on thin ice the last few games. They kind of beat up on. They have Elon's number. There's no question about that. Obviously, beating them twice handily this year. But the Stony Brook game was kind of iffy. The North Carolina A&T game was iffy. They got slaughtered by William and Mary. I don't know. I'm curious to hear your thoughts are.
Yeah, I like Wilmington in this, maybe even a team total, actually. Look what it is. But Wilmington did beat Charleston previously. It was by Charleston. They beat them by 2 on the road. So you can argue, yes, it's a revenge spot for Charleston here. But Wilmington, they've been playing really good ball. Charleston, their defense is just not really a great unit right now. Like, they give up points and they play to their competition, and Wilmington's been scoring like crazy, but they've also been playing defense. I know they are off the double overtime game, but this 6.5 kind of feels telling that Wilmington's going to get their game and they're gonna pull away and get this done here. I mean, I like Charleston, but again, the defense has just not been great. They've, like you said, gotten lucky and escaped some spots where they shouldn't have. So I like Wilmington here. The team total is tempting also, just because they've consistently put up 80 plus since January 16th. Their lowest scoring game was 77 against Delaware on the road. So maybe some tired legs, but I trust Wilmington more than I trust Charleston, especially after watching that NCA&T game the other day that they barely snuck by when they didn't even have their top 2 scorers. So Wilmington or team total for me.
I'm estimating with that 78. I didn't check to see what it was, but it should be around there, judging by this.
77.5, but yeah, basically.
Okay, cool. 77.
And the only thing I really wanted to add to that is that with UNC Wilmington, they really, really rely on that 3-point shot. They're shooting almost close to 40% as a team in conference. So if those tired legs are factoring into their shooting, it could be for a long night. That's why it kind of has me iffy at 6.5. So, but I do lean their way.
Lean towards Wilmington?
Yeah. Right. Your camera looks so much better than mine. It's really pissing me off.
Well, it's probably not. It wouldn't be the camera. It would be the lighting I've set up.
Okay.
You see, I have a whole studio lighting on me right now.
You look like you haven't seen the sun in 60 days there, Toast.
Well, he has one light blasting him in the face.
No, I have 2. I have 3. I have 1, 2.
Okay. So you
yeah.
Also,
you do live in Alaska too, actually. So.
You just got
it's the lighting that makes me lie. I am white, but it's the lighting.
There you go. How about this?
No, it's okay. I didn't mean you had to fix it. I was just, for me, I was self-conscious. I was like, man, his camera looks so good. There's no green around him. There's no nothing.
Yeah, I also, mine's set.
Yeah, of course.
So I could, you just put that green screen up, so I messed with it. Campbell, Northeastern is up next. Northeastern laying 3.5 here. Couldn't even tell you what conference this is in. I know both of you. I've heard you guys bet on Campbell and Northeastern this year, so I know you guys are familiar with these teams.
Yeah, Campbell's actually treated me really well this year. That's why it kind of breaks my heart here. But I kind of like the other side. I know that Northeastern hasn't really been fantastic, but I do think that this line opening at 2.5, now 3.5, it's a pretty good indication that the Sharps out there really like this Northeastern team. Campbell's been on a roll. They haven't lost a game since January 18th. Coming off of, they had a huge win against Elon where they absolutely throttled them. And then they had a little bit of a scare versus North Carolina A&T, who is terrible considering the fact they're 329 in Ken Palm, Northeastern 213 in Ken Palm. This number is at 1 on Ken Palm. Like I said, it's at 3.5 on the books. I just think that sooner or later Campbell is going to stop getting lucky. Again, they've played well, but a lot of their times they've been lucky. Northeastern can match up well with them. Again, offensively, they're not really special, but size-wise, Northeastern has them. And I just think that all these second chance points that Northeastern should be able to get is going to negate the fact of how good Campbell's offense has been. So, again, I think the line kind of tells us what the books think. So I lean Northeastern. I don't know if I actually bet it though.
I think Juice is saying what's this line? I think he's saying the line's sketchy, which is kind of what you were saying. Gerbenz is on Northeastern. Wags is leaning towards Northeastern. Patrick Pizarro is in the chat saying he's leaning towards Northeastern. So it looks like as far as the people watching, leaning towards the Wolves? What the fuck are they? Looks like
Huskies,
a wolf.
Huskies.
Huskies. What about Trev?
The real Huskies.
I'm surprised you're still chirping on UConn after they silenced you the other night.
Well, I never said anything about UConn.
Oh no! You were standing on your Creighton high horse. Both of you were.
Hey,
I bet UConn.
Liam
Toast was on
McNeely went
UConn.
for 38. Liam McNeely went for 38. Come on.
Should have included in your handicap.
Fantastic. Their best player. He's finally getting healthy, getting a couple legs, getting his legs under him. You got to account for that, Trevor.
Again. I'll give it to you. Good win.
Excellent.
Another double.
Yeah, I like Northeastern in this one. Like Toast had said, Campbell's been really good lately. They've won 7 straight. Coming off a 4-game home stretch here, won all those, and now they're going to hit the road as what are they in the conference? They're 9-3 in conference play. Northeastern's 5-7. So I mean, you're getting a team favored by more than a possession or 2 possessions, however you look at it. At home, when Campbell's been at home for basically 3 weeks, now they're going to hit the road. Northeastern off of a loss, back home. I like Northeastern here. Like on paper, yes, this is a Campbell spot, but this line just is telling you that Northeastern's going to get this done. I mean, they're begging for Campbell money, giving them 3.5 and a nice juicy money line price for a team that's been on a roll, and a Northeastern team that's kind of been back and forth. So I like Northeastern here. It's probably going to be my 1.5 bet of the day tomorrow. So I'll get it done with Northeastern here, and shout out FSU for that 1.5 cover today. That was never a doubt. Never a
doubt. It was looking terrible. So I'll put.
I had faith in Florida State the whole time. So
yeah. I saw you in the Discord. You had faith the entire way. Never a negative thing.
Toast was all in his negativity. He was like, Oklahoma State's not going to cover. Florida State's going to lose, and he ended up going like 5-0. He won 5 straight bets after that.
Sometimes you got to reverse jinx that shit.
Yo, I will say the Georgia Tech play was the freest bet on the freaking board.
Oh my god!
And that was
so mad
awesome.
I didn't go on.
And then the line move with all that, and it was absolute. I lost like 30. I played Georgia Tech money line at -128. I think it closed at like -105.
Yeah, I got -110. I waited on it because I saw juice to Stanford. I was like, all right, I'll let these suckers buy up Stanford. I'll hop in at a cheaper price here. So.
I saw Stanford was down 24, like quick. It was like, quick.
Dude, they were hitting them on a 20-5 run early. Like it was 11-10, and then all of a sudden it was just out of hand. I was like,
"That's a foul.
Yes.
That's a foul, right?"
What are you catching with Golden State, or what do you have?
I'm laying 4.5. I need overtime. That's a foul. All right, I need. They're reviewing it. So I think I'm going to tell you guys on that Northeastern one. There's not a lot of action on the board, even in the NBA. So I'm going to be looking to get something down. I might tell you guys on that one. Anyway, we're into conference.
It might be a spot kind of like Georgia Tech. Just maybe see if people buy up a little bit of what's her nuts Campbell money here. Maybe you can get this 2.5 to wherever the hell it drops to. If it drops to or goes up to 4, I'll play the 4. But if it's going to go down, I'll let it go down as much as it wants and get a cheaper price.
I'm surprised Toast included this next game. Conference USA basketball.
Kusa, baby.
See, he gets it.
I don't know what he even just said. Coastal.
Kusa, Conference USA.
Oh.
Well, you have Jacksonville State, who's the number 1 team in this conference. So again, on a smaller day, I figured this would be a good time for them to get a little love on the show. Is that?
I wasn't saying it in an angry way.
No, I get it.
I was saying I was scanning the board and I thought there were other games you were going to pick instead of this one.
I just Sam
Houston's the play, right?
I think so. And the reason that I think so is, again, it's another one of those situations where the line is telling us what side you want to be on. You have a Sam Houston State team that's won 1 game since January 2nd, and that was against FIU. That was at home like this game was going to be. But you also have Sam Houston State coming off of playing teams like Louisiana Tech, Liberty. FIU isn't really great, and that was a revenge spot. But all 3 of those games I just mentioned were on the road. They played Liberty really, really close, and Liberty's much better than Jacksonville State. Now coming back home facing a Jacksonville State team that has lost only 2 games since January 4th. I mean, these teams are exact opposite on how they've been playing, and at least by winning games. So I think this line tells us everything that we need to know about it. I will definitely be on Sam Houston State tomorrow.
I'll put up Sam Houston State. Trev?
Yep, I'm with him. Are they catching or laying points?
So it looks like they're laying 1.5 now.
Okay.
When I made these graphics, though, it was +1. It looks like it might have just shifted over there.
Oh, no, a line flip. Shit.
I know. That's the only thing that sucks.
The old line flip.
Dude, it's a curse.
Flipperooski, man. I'm still going to go with this, Sam Houston State. I mean, look at what happened today. How many stinky lines were there? I mean, Drake was laying 2, and they handled business. Georgia Tech. I guess that one is not a good answer, but there's another game or two I know that there was a short spread, and then the clear team that obviously should have won. No, that one I would have said St. John should have won, just if you look at it. But there was another one I forget.
Spread was kind of that spread at 2. I mean, it got down to 1.5. I mean, that was.
Yeah. So I'm with you. I like Sam Houston here. Sam Houston's loss was a 7 straight. They did go 3 overtime games, so. They've been tight all the way down there, but they just lost to Jacksonville State by 8 on January 18th. They were catching 2. Now they're going to come home and catch was 1.5. So I guess now they're laying points here. I'm with them. I'm going to play Sam Houston. I hadn't even gotten to this game yet, but I like this spot here. You got Jacksonville State hasn't lost since June 11th or July 11th. They do have La Tech on deck, which is they're a couple games behind them. So I guess La Tech really fell off. Damn. But Sam Houston here, the line just stinks. I'll take it. Jacksonville State on a roll. Now you're going to go to a team that you only dispatched by 8 at home, playing essentially the same opener. So I'll take Sam Houston, Bearcat up tomorrow. Let's go.
You literally have the number 1 team in Conference USA catching points versus the worst team in Conference USA.
Yeah.
That simple.
Can we talk some Big Ten ball?
Can we talk some Nebraska ball?
Why is Nebraska laying?
Because they're very, very playing very good right now. To much to my chagrin.
So
they're playing very good basketball right
Trevor,
now.
true or false? You're buying Nebraska.
Oh yeah, I'm shucking all the corn tomorrow. I love Nebraska in this spot.
What?
He said, "I'm chugging all the corn tomorrow."
Shucking all the corn.
Just so everyone knows, that's supposed to be a Nebraska logo. It says Northeastern. It's Nebraska. Go on. You're chucking corn.
It's another sign that we got to bet Northeastern anyway. Nebraska's playing really good. They handled Ohio State. Even with Micah Parrish went for 30. I mean, Micah Parrish goes for 30 in most games. They're probably not going to lose those games, home or on the road, regardless. But Nebraska's got it going. I mean, they already lost to Maryland on the road, and they lost by 3. So, I mean, they played them tough on the road there. Now they're going to get them at home. Maryland, they just beat Rutgers at home. Now they're going to fly all the way to Nebraska for 1 road game. Then they're back home. It's kind of just a sandwich spot, a revenge spot. Nebraska's going to hit all the threes. It's just going to be like the game where that Lincoln Financial Center or whatever the hell it is, the link is just going to be going fucking crazy. And they're just going to hit everything. And Sejan's going to be like 4 of 6 from 3. You know, I have like 18 points. That Busik Katzen Chuchu guy, whatever the hell he is.
We just call him Burke.
Burke. Okay, Burke. Yeah, Burke's gonna have a hell of a game. He'll make some shots too. So I like Nebraska here. It's a simple spot at home, laying points, revenge spot. Maryland flying to Nebraska for one game and then flying back. They're not even staying out there to go to like Oregon or anything like that. So, yeah, this is a Husker spot. And the fact that they're laying points, people love Maryland.
Oh my God, they love them some Maryland Terps this year. It is unbelievable.
The Rodfather is in the comments. He says, bet on Nebraska as a home favorite of 6 points or less since last year, 8-0 against the spread. So it sounds like the Rodfather is on Nebraska as well.
Yeah, only thing I can really add to that is I think that if you're watching this show at this time, that you don't need me to tell you that Nebraska's playing well. They've also played like some pretty decent teams, as far as Illinois. I know Oregon leaves a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth, but they're still a decent basketball team. And Ohio State's decent. The only team that was bad that they played is Washington, and they killed them. And not to mention the fact that Bryce Williams is playing like a National Player of the Year right now. 29 against Ohio State, 24 against Washington, 33 against Oregon, 37 against Illinois, 31 against Wisconsin. And this kid's just playing out of his mind right now. I mean, I guess he's not really a kid. He's like a 9th-year senior. But regardless, the guy's playing out of his mind right now. And again, you have Nebraska, like the Rodfather said, who's been very, very good at home, especially in these types of spots over the last couple of years. So, yeah. And Nebraska's already dropped a couple weird home games, too, against USC and Purdue, two teams that you would not expect Nebraska to lose to, which is why I held steady on this team sucks for so long. So finally they're starting to play together. Now they're going to start to see my money. Huskers up.
I think I might have to declare Nebraska the fake sharp play.
Oh, my God.
Love it.
And I also don't think that anybody's going to be betting. I think a lot of people, well, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, I know that Nebraska has been playing well, but I happen to have watched a few of those games. Oregon, that was an Oregon loss more than Nebraska win. Oregon looked like shit in that game. They should have lost to Illinois. Washington, I'm not throwing you a parade for beating that garbage-ass Washington team. And then Ohio State. So the way I see it is there's one nice-looking win in there for Nebraska. Getting the better team catching points here. Fake sharp play of the day is Nebraska.
Nonsense. Fading Bryce Williams is crazy work.
What would this line have been 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago? Probably Nebraska plus 1.5. What? In Nebraska? You thought they'd be catching 6.5?
2 or 3 weeks ago when Nebraska hadn't won a game and they were losing to Rutgers? Yeah, I do think it would be
6.5 is
okay. Maybe I was exaggerating, but you get
I think it would
maybe 3. I'll give you 3.5 or 4 maybe.
Hold on.
I think it probably would have been flipped, just, Nebraska plus 1.5 or 2.
Let's get to the bottom of this right now. Nebraska, ATS results. So Nebraska was catching 6.5 from Maryland on. They didn't play Maryland. What am I looking at?
They played Maryland at on the East Coast.
January 19th. Oh, they were catching 6.5, but that was in Maryland. So, all right. Probably, obviously, would have been less than that. Let's see what are some of their home lines. Nebraska was catching 10.5 from Illinois, catching 12.
What about the USC game?
No, I'm sorry. They were catching 4.5 from Illinois, catching 6.5 from Oregon. They were catching 9.5 from Maryland the first time. I don't know. I don't think minus. I think it'd probably be like -4.
Yeah,
Nebraska plus 4.
4.5 makes more sense. I was exaggerating.
Overreaction.
Difference.
Overreaction. Terps up. Fake sharp play of the day.
Yeah, damn right, Maryland's
the fake sharp play of the day is hot. It hit one. It hit one tonight.
Dude, I thought Providence was going to come back. I was like, oh, shit, this is going to be awesome.
I declared Providence the fake sharp play of the day.
I know, but you said it was over with 13 minutes. They're down 23.
It wasn't about
it was a 9-point game. I was like, oh, man.
It wasn't about the score. It was about the energy Providence was playing with, or a lack of energy.
Dude, Pierre came on late, and I thought they were coming back. It was close.
But they didn't.
Not
tonight. Memphis on the road at South Florida. Bulls are catching 7.5 points at home. Let's talk some American. I don't know if I've bet a single American game. I don't know if I've bet a single AAC game all year. I do know Memphis is one of the better teams, but I also know I don't like betting offenses that rely on 3-point shooting in road games, especially when I'm laying a big number.
South Florida plus 8.5 for me. Put it up on the board for sure. Not only do I think that Memphis is sooner or later going to drop another game, and probably one of those games are going to be on the road, and I think it's rather going to be. I don't think Wichita State's that good. So I'm sorry, I just don't. And not that they're better than South Florida, but I think this spot after 2 home games for Memphis, now they're going to be traveling on the road. They do have Wichita State on deck, who's obviously better than South Florida, but this South Florida team has been kind of sneaky decent. Again, their win-loss record doesn't look great, but they play a lot of close games, or more close games than getting blown out. I mean, going all the way back to the Tulsa game on the 18th. I mean, 56-63. Charlotte's 8-point game. East Carolina 8-point game. Rice a 5-point game. FAU killed them. They beat Temple in double overtime, a 5-point game to Wichita State. So I just think that South Florida is in a really good spot, and a third straight game at home. They're going to be. They do have UAB on deck, but I don't think they're going to win that game. So I think that all their cards are going to be into this game. This is probably, I would say, this is the biggest game left on South Florida's schedule. It's not even a question. Besides when they play Memphis in the last game of the year, but maybe that game matters and maybe it doesn't. But I think this is a really good spot to get 8.5 points with the South Florida team that's catching a Memphis team that we know can look really good and really bad at times. And now on the road after a couple wins that they kind of played with their food through, they could have easily lost to Temple, but I'm not saying they lose this game, but this kind of reminds me of the Florida State game today, where I just don't feel like Memphis should be laying this many points on the road the way that they've been playing lately.
I put up South Florida for me too. Trev?
I kind of like 2 different spots in this game. I like South Florida first half. Memphis has come out on the road and just in general just kind of slept walk a little bit in the first half through spots and been down. But you also don't fade Penny when he's just like a single-digit favorite. Once he hits those double digits is when you want to fade him. And they haven't covered the last couple.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. When Penny's a double-digit favorite, you want no part of that. You fade him automatically. So them being 7.5 here, I don't want to. I don't want to fade you, Toast. I would lean Memphis.
I got 8.5. The line's moving down, so I'm good.
Okay, I would lean Memphis full game, but I like this South Florida first half just a little more. So maybe I'll double dip here. Maybe do a little reverse correlation parlay here. Sprinkle a little bit on that, but. If I had to go full game Memphis first half, I like South Florida. Like you said, I think they get up. I think they kind of catch Memphis, little sleepwalking through this a little bit, and then Penny kind of rips into their ass in the second half at halftime, and they come out on fire and just do what they do. But to your point, South Florida can't force turnovers where Memphis is just horrendous at hanging onto the ball, so that could easily work into their favor for some runouts and quick buckets there.
Rod Father in the comments on Memphis. You're making a poor decision there, Rod.
I also like the fact that South Florida doesn't really rely on the 3 ball, so there's a very possible that they can get Danger in trouble. And if they get Danger in foul trouble, it could be a long night for Memphis.
What a disrespectful line to the Dons. 14.5. Gonzaga's not even that good this year. 14.5.
Agreed. They suck.
Blind bet on the Dons, right?
Go ahead, Trevor. You can go first. Everybody knows where I'm.
Yeah, no, this is I like San Fran here. I know they haven't been amazing on the road. Lost to Washington State, lost to Santa Clara and St. Mary's. But Gonzaga, their defense is just very poor. It's not great. I know they did just beat up on Pacific and Loyola, but San Fran followed up that St. Mary's game and got a win and found a way at LMU too. So it's not like they just fell flat on their face and then they got up again. Like they responded and they came back with another win after that. So I like San Fran here. I think their offense has enough to keep them in this game. Gonzaga, I'm not saying they're going to lose this game, but I don't think Gonzaga is going to be drilling them by 20 plus here. I could see this game being, tight back and forth. Gonzaga pulls away a little late, wins this game by like 8 or 9 potentially. So I like San Francisco here on the road, get up game. And then the WCC, what is this? Yeah, San Francisco's ahead of Gonzaga. So you could argue Gonzaga wants to drill them to catch up, but San Fran's got have they played Gonzaga yet?
No, they play them today and
No.
tomorrow, and then the last game of the series or season.
All right. So they can get a big win over them, and then they do have no, they covered against St. Mary's. So if they want to really realistically hang in for the WCC, they're going to have to win one of the 2 games against Gonzaga. So I don't think they're going to be not ready for this game. I think they're going to be ready, and then they have to beat St. Mary's. So if San Fran beats St. Mary's and beats Gonzaga or splits it, like the top of the WCC is going to be tied, and it's going to come down to some ridiculous like tiebreaker. Potentially. So I like San Fran to get up in this one against Gonzaga, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is like an 80-something to 90-something game.
Rodfather in the comments, he is on San Francisco. Graben says Gonzaga crushes. Juice is a little undecided. He says Super Soaker to my head, I guess Zags. Wags says San Francisco are under, which is I thought this would be over with Gonzaga's defense.
No, because there's this crazy idea out here that Gonzaga can't play defense.
They
like,
can't.
oh my God. Let's just take a look at some of their let's just go 5 games. Portland scored 62. Oregon State scored 60. St. Mary's scored. So I'm not done. St. Mary's scored 62. Loyola Marymount scored 53. Pacific scored 61. So it's not like these teams. It's not like the Zags had like a 2 weeks period where they were playing really bad defense. But over the last 2 weeks, they've been absolutely dominating on the defensive end. They lost the St. Mary's game. It is what it is. They scored 58 points. But to say that their defense hasn't been playing well is an absolute fallacy. I just wanted to put that out there. So again, I'm not going to be laying 14 points with Gonzaga, but I had to stick up for my boys just a little bit because the hate is getting a little bit out of control for a team that consistently is always in the Sweet 16. Like at some point, you have to respect this team. I'm done.
Can I poke?
I was just going to say I didn't realize that they had played good defense against Portland, and that changes my view of things.
I just gave you 5 examples.
Yeah, no, I heard Portland though.
I want to poke a hole in that a little bit. They held Oregon State to 60. Oregon State was off of the Santa Clara win that night, and then St. Mary's doesn't play offense really anyway. They stick in the low 60s. So
I mean, if St. Mary's is so fucking good and they're the number 1 team and Gonzaga is so trash, you would think they'd score more than 62, right?
That's not what St. Mary's does, though.
That's not what St. Mary's does. That's not the Gales.
Oh, okay.
That's not a Reggie Bennett coach team. They play defense.
They want to play 1952 basketball.
I know. I'm just saying that there's this idea out here. Go ahead, Kyle.
As a favorite of 10 or more points, the Zags are 3-8 against the spread at home this year. Ooh. You have to take San Francisco here.
The world is going to be on San Francisco. I can't wait to laugh at you all.
Because the world knows how bad this defense is.
That's fine, but the world's going to see 14.5 and be like, oh my God, Gonzaga can't play defense. It's
not what they're going to be like.
It's literally what it's going to be like. And the Gonzaga is going to win by 16.
All right, that's the last game we got queued up here. So tomorrow, let me look at the Friday. I'm assuming Friday is not a great day, but let me look at the schedule.
Friday. It's usually got some banger games. Not a big slate, but it's got some bangers.
I was going to say maybe
No, UCLA, Indiana.
That's the one game.
I mean, St. Louis versus Sister Jean.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we can talk about it. We can go Ivy League and go Princeton and Brown.
Hey,
I don't hate
MAAC plays. Dude, the MAC plays on Friday. I love some Friday MAC. Just bet the under on every single game. You'll come out.
It's like top. The opposite of football. Bet the over in them all.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow.